How do we decide if the graph is the graph of a function? It is if it passes the vertical line test. And remember, domain of a function, that would be the x values taken on by the function. Range would be the y values. So keep that in mind. Let's decide whether this graph is the graph of a function. Does it pass the vertical line test? In other words, every vertical line I could possibly draw, does it intersect this graph at most once? The answer is no, because if I drew this vertical line, it would intersect the graph an infinite number of times. So this is not a function. This graph is not a function, but let's still think of it as a relation. And let's decide on the domain of this relation and the range of this relation. For domain, think of x values. So we want to know how far left and how far right this graph is going. Or you can think of the ordered pair solutions or ordered pair points of this graph. Remember, all of these ordered pairs will have an x value of -2. So the domain is simply the x value of -2. What is the range? Range has to do with y values. So think of how far up this graph will go and how far down it will go, because that has to do with the y values of the ordered pairs along this graph. Notice this graph goes to positive infinity and negative infinity, talking about y values. So the range is from negative infinity to infinity. All of these y values can be found as y values of ordered pairs on this line.